I know I said this video would be out the following day. From when I did the Constructors' Championship predictions, I got a little bit ill, a little bit lazy, and I ended up filming a different video with Callum, which you should 100% go check out because I had a lot of fun making it. But now, finally, I'm making my Drivers' Championship predictions for 2021. Before we get started, you know that over 50% of you aren't subscribed. It really helps out if you do. If you join the channel and help me grow, it would mean the world to me. I should probably state before this, if you watch my Constructors Championship video and mathematically the way that these people would finish in my Drivers Championship video don't match up, I'm sorry. This is just like two separate things that I've not really sat down and worked out the maths on who would work where. It's just I look at a driver and I've decided, yeah, they're naff, they're going last, or they're DOS, they're going first. We'll go straight into it, and in 20th place, got Nicholas Latifi. I understand the Williams is getting better and that he is necessary to Williams' survival with that huge Safina sponsorship that he brings in. He was a good driver in F2, but there are a lot of good drivers in F2 that just aren't cut out for F1. Granted that Williams is a bad car, but when you're compared against teammate George Russell, who is dragging everything out of that car, you have to have questions asked about you, and that's why he's in 20th. Now, Schumacher, 18th place, the F2 world champion. I don't want him to be in 18th place, but that's where he's going to have to be. The Haas was not good last year. Will he be able to drag everything out of that car? Should we really expect a rookie to bring that kind of fire and power? I hope so. I don't see it happening. Unless Ferrari really get that engine working magically, Haas will not be very far up the grid in my opinion. 17th place, I've got Kimi Räikkönen. He's a little bit past it, but he's in a reasonably bad car in the Alfa Romeo. I'm not too fussed about seeing him near the back. Probably should have retired a couple of years ago. Let in our man Callum Ilott, but it is what it is. 16th place, Raikkonen's teammate, Giovinazzi. I've heard a little bit of swaying opinions on him. He is a good driver that's just not been given a chance. He is a bad driver that's also in a bad car, or he's a good driver in a bad car. Either which way you put it, he's probably outstayed his welcome in Formula 1 just surely based on results. I can't say any more than that, and that's why he is going to be stuck in 16th place. 15th place, George Russell, the main man. Unless he gets a miraculous move to the Mercedes, I think we can expect to see him in the Williams for the rest of the season, depending on circumstances. But I do see him getting points in the Williams this year. I think that they've made big strides. We saw it last season compared to where they were the season before. The little bit of knowledge that he's bringing into that team from driving the Mercedes very briefly will be extremely valuable. 14th, Yuki Sonoda. I think that we are going to see some mega drives from this kid. Despite me believing he should have stayed in Formula 2 for another season, won that championship and stepped up then, you take your chance when Formula 1 comes calling. And it makes sense why he is in the sport for the coming season. I'm sure he'll stake his claim in Formula 1 and we'll know why he's been brought in, assuming that Helmut Marko and Christian Horner don't somehow ruin his career too. Feeling good about seeing him in 14th place. It's not a terrible place for a rookie, especially better than the other two rookies behind him. 13th, Esteban Ocon. I've said my piece on Esteban Ocon before. He's definitely a somewhat talented driver. In the questionable car of the Renault that should be doing better, or always claims it should be doing better and just doesn't. The way that he was with Daniel Ricciardo last season kind of made me think that there was a little bit of problems in the way he's driving. Maybe if the second season fully back in to the sport, he will feel comfortable and really ready to just go head on with the team. But in 12th place we got Fernando Alonso, and I think that he is going to be just a big blockade for Esteban Ocon's development. I'm also not a big fan of Fernando Alonso. It sucks because I'm a big Renault fan and I will be a big Alpine fan. I want to see them both do well, but I don't think that they're going to be able to pull out the performance that Alpine are claiming that they will. It seems like it's every year that they're another step ahead. This is the chance that they're challenging up the front, and then they're just not. It's similar to what we see with Red Bull. This is the year they're going to take the fight to Mercedes. They never really do. In 11th place, race winner Pierre Gasly. I would kill for him to be well up this championship. I think that he is one of the most talented drivers on the grid, proven by the fact that he won a race. Yes, the circumstances kind of dictated that that's what happened. It was a really lucky strategy call, but you still have to have the ability and the ability, the calmness, and the mindset to go and win the race, especially when you've got Carlos Sainz in a faster car right on your tail. I think we'll see really big performances from this guy. Hopefully we'll see another podium. That'd be 3 seasons in a row. 10th place, Lance Stroll. I think he finished around this area last season. I'm actually kind of a fan of Lance Stroll, not in the sense where it's like I root for him every time, but that people hate on him that it's daddy's money, that he's only there because he got paid into the position. I don't think that's true. I think that he is definitely one of the more talented drivers on the grid, proven he got a pole position. He's been on the podium. Can Aston Martin make another step forward if the teams are in front of them? I don't think so. He's going to have a brand new teammate, Sebastian Vettel. We'll get onto him. But he is a world champion. When you have a world champion by your side, can be a little bit of extra pressure. Maybe Stroll will work under that, I don't know. But 10th seems a bit fair, if you ask me. In 9th place, we've got Wando Norris. Everyone's golden child. He is great, and I think he's an extremely great driver as well. Going to have a new teammate next season. Can Lando do much better than the people I see in front of him on this list? He's definitely as talented as them, but it depends what he can take out of the car every time. I feel like I was maybe a bit bold looking back at this, and I've put Sebastian Vettel in 8th place. I'm hoping for decent things from this Aston Martin team. I'm hoping Sebastian Vettel will maybe find his feet, feel a bit more comfortable in the car again, and pull out some good results. But it really depends the car that Aston Martin produce. And can Sebastian Vettel still do it? We don't know. He's not been on a downward trajectory, but especially last season he struggled. Whether that was Ferrari's fault, I don't know. I'm not even going to bother speculating because there's enough people who have made enough videos talking about it. But I hope to see him do well. And on to the man that's replacing him. In 7th place, we've got Carlos Sainz. Oh, I was bold. I was so bold in hoping that Ferrari would do something next season. Will they? Looking back on that, maybe not. I feel like I was just hoping they would do better, and I feel like Carlos Sainz being 7th is fair. He definitely can get there. I think he could get there in a McLaren. One second, check. So he actually finished 6th last season in the McLaren. I think he's going to take a step back when getting into that Ferrari. Not from anything to do with him. I'm sure Carlos Sainz will be as talented as ever and pull out some mega races like we always expect, but I don't think Ferrari are going to give him the car to really do what he did last season. I want to see this man on the podium more. Hopefully Ferrari give him the opportunity to. You just never know. 6th place, the man that's replacing Carlos Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo. I think we're going to see a reinvigorated Daniel Ricciardo in this McLaren Mercedes. I'm excited for what this team can do. And Daniel's a man that probably should have won the World Championship by now had Lewis Hamilton not been Lewis Hamilton, basically, and Mercedes not being Mercedes. I'm sure he's hoping that with this McLaren move that he'll just be right in the decision that he's made, and McLaren will make mega leaps and fighting at the front, and hopefully he can get his World Championship that he also desires. But keeping it realistic for this season, 6th place seems like a good few podiums. I feel like we'll see him definitely competing near the front. Yeah, I don't feel like there's much more to say on him other than that I'm confident in what he'll do in that new team. He seems to get comfortable easy. He did well with Renault in the first season, but they gave him an underperforming car. We saw what he did the season past. He was pulling everything out of that car. In 5th, the man who wasn't even supposed to be here, Sergio Perez. I really hope that he's going to be the man that can stop this bullshit that goes on with Red Bull and just take the fight to the front comfortably with Max Verstappen. It'll be tough. He's only got a year contract, I'm pretty sure. What will he be able to do with such little time to adjust and then just go for it? I don't know, but we know how good Checo is. He got his race win recently that he definitely deserved. It really depends how toxic that environment is and if it will play an effect on him too. I hope not. He's almost a veteran in the sport these days. I'm sure that he'll be able to take whatever mental things that Red Bull throw at him. It's just whether that car can be tamed by anyone other than Max Verstappen, really. 4th place, Charles Leclerc. Another really confident choice by me. Like I said, I'm doubting my choice to put Ferrari so high up, but Charles is mega talented. We saw what he did when he first got in that Ferrari. He is due a good car, and Ferrari have honestly done him a disservice in taking that huge step back that they did. This man should be up there fighting with the likes of Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton comfortably for win. I really, really hope that it goes this way because he deserves it. He is good enough to get it. If he can sort out a little bit of his little bit of immature racing where he goes for moves that aren't really there, like the race that Checo won where he took out Max Verstappen and Checo. If he can kind of iron those out of his racing ability, I think we can see a challenger worthy in Charles Leclerc. It really just comes down to what can Ferrari do for him. Third place, Valtteri Bottas. Realistically, where he deserves to finish this season just passed. Max should have been ahead of him, would have been ahead of him if he hadn't had so many DNFs in comparison. Every year is Bottas' year, where I was like, this is the year that he is going to beat Lewis Hamilton. He never does. Realistically, I think he's just like Rubens Barrichello. He's just the man that's always going to be there and not really do anything with the opportunity that they have. Not because they can't, but simply because the man in front of them is just that much better. Second place, Max Verstappen. I am praying this year for a closer fight at the top. And the only person that realistically can do it, based on how the cars were just passed, and if Red Bull can close the gap even just a wee bit in this season before the regulation changes, Max is the man to really bring the fight to Lewis. We've seen him develop as a driver so significantly over 7 seasons in Formula 1. He's getting to the point where surely he will be getting frustrated that he is not able to consistently compete at the top. I get that he's only, 23? That doesn't mean anything when you've been in Formula 1 as long as you have it for him. And obviously, our WDC of 2021, you heard it here first, or last, because this videos went out way after everyone else's. It's Lewis Hamilton. Sir Lewis Hamilton. Who else could you really expect me to say here? But right now, Lewis Hamilton is your best all-round driver. Who could you really see up there other than him? Maybe Max, but with the way that Mercedes are, you just can't not see him taking this title. I hope this is not a situation where we see him in first from round 3 and that's it onwards and no one ever actually overtakes him again. I want to see a little bit of a title fight, but I'm certain that this man will be in first come December next year. Well, that's my Drivers' Championship list. Tell me what you think about what I've said. What do you think is going to happen next season? Is there going to be any shake-ups or anything crazy that you think I've totally just neglected that could happen? I'd really appreciate if you like this and subscribe as well. It really helps the channel. It feels like I'm getting a little bit more growth than I was before, and I really appreciate all the support. Remember to go follow my socials, and thank you for watching.